Hello, Steve White, Trek Boy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, there's some good news for Star Trek's future. Apparently, some informal meetings involving the teams on Paramount and Secret Hideout working on Star Trek have come together, and they didn't go very well. They were asked to bring in pitches, and they came in with 4 pitches, and they were told they had to pitch a legacy style series with Jerry Ryan because that's what the fans want, that's what the studio wants, so make it for us. And they didn't do it, so they came in pitching their own shows. Basically they are under, I guess they're just under the impression that they're just going to get another extension of their contract and get another sweetheart deal and just be able to make whatever they want and do whatever they want and just suck more money out of Paramount and not give them anything that they can sell and make any money out of. But they got a bit of awakening because they basically got told, no, you're here to make Star Trek for us. You do what we want what the fans want, because that's where we get the money, by giving the fans what they want and they pay for it. That's like how it works. And we have no interest in what you want to do. Do what we want to do. You're here, we pay you to make Star Trek for us. And we need to save money, and you're costing us money. So it sounds pretty brutal. They pretty much let them know we're gonna bargain hard. You're not getting an extension. We're gonna have a new deal, and it's gonna be one that favors us and suits us. You're gonna be working for us, making Star Trek, not the other way around. So apparently they pitched an animated series, sort of a continuation of Lower Decks, but in the future, or maybe just that style, but in a different time. The horrible Tawny Newsome reality sitcom office documentary mess that she's trying to push, half-hour thing, like they pitched that apparently. And Year One, which of course is just an extension of the show they just cancelled, and they just gave them 6 episodes to finish that off. So I'm like, why are they going to continue that and give them another season? I don't see that happening. And apparently they pitched a Janeway show. And basically what they said is, we want Jerry Ryan, we want legacy, without any of the elements from Picard that you created, like the Enterprise G and those characters. We just want legacy characters. And I just got the name of the show is Star Trek Legacy because it's legacy characters. That's what we want to see. That's how they're thinking of it, and not so much a legacy of like the era and the children and the next generation. More like legacy characters. We want the original Star Trek, the next generation, that era. We want just more of that show and that era, because that's what fans want. So they want more control. They don't want Secret Hideout to be able to go and sell the show. If they say no to a show, they don't want them to go sell it to someone else, like with Netflix, because they lost money over that. They didn't pay enough to cover the cost of the show. Now, apparently there was a clause for season 3 if Netflix wanted to make it, but it was an option. And of course, because no one watched the show and they didn't want to keep it on the platform and they got rid of it, they obviously weren't going to pay for another show, and that's probably the only way Paramount would have made any money out of it. So the fact they accepted that deal, they weren't happy about, but it's not like they had a choice, because there's no way they were going to pay for that. So that's funny. What else was there? They basically just walked in expecting to just go on as before, and expect to be treated like they were before, because basically they just get paid a lot of money from Paramount to make Star Trek, which is unnecessary, because Paramount should have been able to make it themselves in-house. They shouldn't have had to pay them to make it, because they don't like make it at cost. They basically just take a bunch of money, spend some of it on the show, the rest goes to their executive producers, and they just pay themselves and keep most of the money, and it doesn't end up on the screen. And Paramount knows this. They know the show can be made for cheaper, and they're basically saying, you can have the deal and make it basically at cost and make a small profit instead of gouging us, or you can go away and we'll make it ourselves. It'll be a hassle to start up all over again, but if it's going to save us money, we're going to do that, because we're here to make this studio profitable again, and if that means getting rid of you, that's what we're going to do. That seemed to be the message that he said they sort of got. So this is all from the Side Trek guy, because he's apparently got people that tell him what's happening. He said he didn't know a lot, because the people that he talks to are on the business side of Paramount, not Secret Hideout. He doesn't have anyone in Secret Hideout, so he doesn't really know what went on in their camp. But I think that's everything I had in the notes. They had 4 pitches. They didn't pitch the show because they were told to pitch a legacy show. They didn't do it, so they weren't very happy with that. They made it clear there's going to be no extension. They're going to be making a new deal that's going to save them money. They're not going to have the same options they had before to shop shows around. I think that's it. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. It all sounds very good. It sounds like they've told them, look, you've had a good run. It's not going to continue. You can make the show for us, or, we can just do it ourselves without you if you're just going to gouge us and cost us money and not cooperate and not do what you're told and give us what we want. So I think they needed to be told that, because they've been just running along doing whatever they wanted, not caring what the fans or the studio wanted for years now, and getting paid for it. And that gravy train's not going to be flowing anymore. I hope.